Hi guys, and welcome to my world. Let me tell you a little story. I'm ex-forces. I joined the army in 1992. Went on to do 15 years. Finally left in 2006. The cap badge I joined was the REME, the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. And within the REME I was a vehicle mechanic. Like I say, I served 15 years. And all of my postings were in Germany as it happens. But I did go to other places. In fact, I like to say I've turned spanners on every continent of the world. I've been to Canada, Mexico, Falklands, Western and Eastern Europe, Cyprus, Egypt and New Zealand. There's also the adventurous side of the army. And quite early on I got into mountaineering. Turns out I'm quite good at rock climbing and abseiling. And in fact we went out to Mexico to climb Popocatépetl. I also conquered my fear of heights by chucking myself out of an aeroplane. I'm sure that's the best way to do it actually. After 2.5 years basic training, I flew out to Germany, where I quickly fell in love with the currywurst. And not long after that, still very wet behind the ears, I was shipped out to Bosnia, or the former Yugoslavia. I spent around 8 months there. I say around because a lot of my memories from that time are either gone, muddled up, or not real. But like I said before, I left the army in 2006, and I returned to England for the first time since leaving my abusive past at 16. My wife left me as soon as we got back. By this point, I was drinking quite heavily. And coupled with the accusations of infidelity, I'd become more of a monster. Then it's all a bit of a muddle again for me. I know I lived in New Zealand for over a year. I went out there to start a new life, but unfortunately for me, the company I started working for was hit hard during the recession. And they went bust, and I was laid off. So I came back penniless. I got involved with a best friend. I was with an abusive woman for some time as well. Oh, and I spent some time in East London. I rented a flat from a teacher, musician. And I must admit, sitting in the evening listening to her sing or play the piano was absolutely golden. Thanks, Rolfie, by the way. I owned a flat, lived on my own in Portsmouth, worked as a carer, a mechanic, hired myself out as a chocolate fountain to parties and weddings. Worked in mental health where I looked after soldiers. I was a skip driver. In fact, can I say I was a skip driver? I was absolutely terrible. Lorry driver, minibus driver, betterware coordinator, helped start a company. Oh, and of course I tried to commit suicide several times and lived on the streets. But somewhere around 2012, while working with an ABC lady, people who know her will know who I mean, and a girl who will be known as my big little sister Z, I went away for 6 weeks to a place called Combat Stress, a mental health prison for people too mad for normal life. And that is exactly what I thought when I went away. It was very much one flew over the cuckoo's nest of group therapy and angry outbursts. And then it was dangerous outbursts and tears. Lots of tears. Obviously, I wasn't in a prison. And obviously, it was the best thing that happened to me. Adele, I'd like to say thank you very much for breaking through to me. I learnt my childhood wasn't normal. The beatings for talking are not normal. The time spent in a cupboard under the stairs, again, isn't normal. All that did affect me. But most importantly, I found out that the flashbacks, the nightmares, the bed sweats, the wetting myself out in public, the isolation, there was a reason for it all. I wasn't mad. It was a mixture of childhood and war for me. I had gone to war, and I had seen and done the things that I thought. And it's hard to explain to someone that hasn't got the kind of issues that I've got, that there was so much of my life that I honestly thought were just some sort of crazy ramblings of some sort of sick man, because it's even hard to say, but I remember a time when I didn't know what part of my life was real and what wasn't, and it's a really hard thing to come to terms with. It's difficult. So from there I started a combined theatre therapy group for ex-soldiers with mental health issues. And again, I met a lovely lady. In fact, now that I think about it, all of the amazing people have been ladies. I know this person won't want me to mention her name, but I also feel it's not right if I don't mention the group of guys that I ended up joining, the combat veteran players. Because here was a group of ex-soldiers, just like myself, who some days, in their darkest days, couldn't even get out of bed in the morning. And suddenly we were learning a new language, and suddenly we were putting a play together. We ended up on possibly the world's greatest stage, giving possibly one of the greatest plays that we could have Shakespeare's Hamlet. I said that with so much dramatic. I can't even talk. And I personally went from isolating myself in my front room to being stood in front of 500 people delivering a Shakespearean foreign language play. It's been an amazing journey. It really has. So I guess that's my story so far. Now I'm just trying to piece my life back together, really, and live with my issues. And that is what you have to do. And I say that because I want to reach out to other people. I want to reach out to other people that have or are suffering with mental health issues, whatever they are. You see, I hid away for far too long. I was embarrassed, frightened, in fact, no, petrified. I've been engaged 3 times, married twice, and lost the most perfect son. All because of my childhood and the experiences in Bosnia. And sure, I want to point out that the things I did were wrong, but there were a lot of things that could be explained due to my mental health state. And if only I'd known that at the time. But other things are our fault. It's our fault if we don't talk. It's our fault if we think it's wrong to cry. You know, it's our fault if we choose to drink or take drugs or take our own life. That's our choice. So there are things that can be blamed on me, on ourselves. We could argue that without the difficult life experiences, we wouldn't see some of the great works of art. We wouldn't have musicians, poets. We wouldn't have known of Never Never Land, nor searched for the final frontier. And we would never have found out what happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So let's embrace the sadness. Bloody goths were right all along. I knew there was a reason I loved goths. Let's talk science, sci-fi, Marvel, Star Wars, witches, wizards, as well as a little bit of poo popping out when I hear a bang behind me. I want to talk to you about the things that trouble you. I have a lot of experience. I've done a lot of things right and I've done a hell of a lot of things wrong. I've got time to listen and understand. They'll have you believe that mental health is a mind state. And I'd like to say that it's not. It's a mind inner state. We just need to tidy it up a bit. Let's face it, if we get a cold, we run straight down to the doctor to sort things out. I think it should be the same with the head, really. It just probably means going to talk to a friend or something like that. Anyway, let's try and break down the stigma attached to mental health. And let's have a bit of fun on the way as well. So it's goodbye from him. Come inside, meet the missus. And it's Tatty Bojangles from me. Hi guys. I have one last request. Please hit the subscribe button below and help spread the word about what we're trying to do. We want to build a community of people who care about others. So obviously every like and every subscribe matters. We're going to use online content to try and offer free support to anyone who suffers with anxiety or confidence issues or personal issues. Please also have a look at my blogs and my Facebook page, where you'll find more resources and information on the topics I cover. Thanks so much for your help. And thanks also for watching me while I'm on your screen. See me soon. Thanks.